Right, hello everybody. I just want to go over my weekly outlook for next week. Just the things that I'm looking at, thinking about trading, given the opportunity. I've got a mixture of metals, commodities, and a handful of stocks. Yeah, so let's just get straight into it. First off, I'd just like to say that this is not financial advice. Um, I'm not a profitable trader, so yeah, wouldn't be copying these trades just yet. These are just my ideas. Right, so let's start off with silver. Right, so let me see. Right, these are the silver charts here. We've got the monthly top left, weekly top right, and then down here we've got the daily chart. Right, let's start on the weekly. See, on the weekly here, we have this huge, very nice explosive candle. That is picture perfect when it comes to being an explosive candle. So in my opinion, I mean, this is a place that we want to be placing trades. Um, I have also marked out these two lower zones here, but this is the one I have my eye on. Let's just drill down into the daily first. But the good news is look, we have here the weekly, and it's also covered by the monthly. So that just go. In my eyes at least, it just makes the zone higher quality, covered by higher time frames. So here's the daily chart. So as we can see, this is the daily zone, the zone on the daily. It's covered by the weekly and it's covered by the monthly, which is just perfect. So on the daily, I just want to say the first thing here that I have marked out is a gap. Let me just move this. See this here, a gap in the candles. So what tends to happen? These gaps in the chart can act as magnets for price. The price in a lot of instances will come back and just fill all these unfulfilled orders. So that's what I'm thinking. This price is going to come all the way down into around this zone. So yeah, this is the zone I'm looking to get stuck in at. And it's clearly in an uptrend when it comes to the daily. I would say that's a low, higher low, higher low, higher low. And if my if my if my idea is correct, it's going to come back down and create another higher low. So when it comes to actually end the entry point, I've set me alert a little bit higher just to get me so I can position myself with my buy stops, etc. But I would probably, let me just work this out. I would probably be looking to enter around like roughly what's that, $50, 645. Yeah, so that's something I've got my eye on. Let's just move on quickly. Right, the next one is another metal, which is platinum. Right, again, we have a weekly zone just here. A really high quality explosive candle, straight out. So the price fell in little zone and then exploded outwards. And then we have it on the daily chart down below. Again, we have another gap, which is just here. So just like earlier, I feel like the price is gonna, well, there's a good chance the price will come down and fill these unfulfilled orders. So yes, but I'm gonna explain this a little bit deeper, why I like this so much. Let's go to these charts. Right, let me explain here. Right, the bottom right hand corner here, this is the seasonality chart for the last 10 years on how platinum's behaved. Now, what it's saying is that this is Monday, the 8th, which is the beginning of the week. The seasonality tool is estimating a move to the upside, and a really strong one. I would say that's probably from any time now, really. It might front run it and go now, but it'll be absolutely bang on. It's estimating on the 15th of December, 15th to the 18th. But we're actually just going to be here. So yeah, I mean, I've got my eye on this right now. This could make this run up at any moment. That's the seasonality tool. Now let me explain what this one is here. Right, this tool here is the valuation tool. So this is the price of platinum compared to the yellow line is gold, and the blue line is the US dollar 30-year treasuries. So how it works is you have the red line here. So whenever the price these two lines come close or start touching the red line, it's classed as overvalued. And on the other side we have the green line. Now if it comes down below here, we would say that platinum is undervalued compared to gold or the treasuries. So how I like to use them is, these are good to use when following the trend. So this platinum is clearly on an uptrend. So yeah. So what I'm thinking is if the price of platinum pulls back into this zone which I've marked out, we'll pull back down here. Once that price pulls back, the gold and the treasuries valuation should also come back down in price, and then below the mean. And I'm considering getting involved, but obviously the further down it comes, the better. Now let me explain these two on the left hand side. Right, so the blues here are the commercials, where they're positioned at the moment. The commercials are the smartest players in the game, so they're the big businesses, people who are trading platinum for business reasons. They're not speculators. So these are the smartest people in the game, traders. So I do try and follow these guys. And the reds here is retailers. Now they're the dumb money. They're the ones that lose money. So what I try to do is just position myself with the blue, the commercials, and you will go the opposite side of the dumb money, the retailers. I'm a retailer myself, retail trader. But anyway, what you can do here is, let me expand these. Right, these aren't really looking great at the moment. I will say this, I've only got data up until the 27th of October due to the US government shutdown. But yeah, so what happens is, let me just have a look. Yeah, for example, this is copper. I'm just using this as an example. See here, these blue lines, the way they're really high. That means that the commercials are buying to extreme levels. And what tends to happen is, when the commercials are buying at extreme levels, you always have the retailers doing the exact opposite. So looking at that copper chart now, I would be looking to buy with the commercials, because the retailers tend to be losing money. So as they're selling, I want to be buying with these guys. So let's just switch back to platinum. So although the COT data isn't super, like, I would prefer the commercials to be much higher up here, and I would prefer also the commercials to be lower down. But the reason I'm looking to get involved is just how strong this seasonality estimation is. So yeah, we will see anyway. It's something to keep an eye on. So the level I've got on the daily, let me just see where I would want to be involved in. I would probably drill this down. That's too big of a zone. Quite possibly here. So that would be roughly the 1552 level. I would be looking to get involved in that trade. But I've just set my alert a little bit higher, just so once it reaches that I can position myself and set a buy stop. So that's everything for the metals. So let's quickly go on to crude oil. Now, crude. Right, crude oil. Again, if you look at the seasonality, just bottom right here. Right, so that's Monday the 8th, which is the beginning of the week tomorrow. And it's just saying any day now, going on 10 years worth of data, the price generally does go on a rally, which it estimates to end around the 16th to 29th of Jan, then a slight pullback, and then a continuation up until the beginning of March. But that's looking really promising at the moment. When it comes to the valuation, again, we're not undervalued. Wait there. Right, the issue with this is, I'll count that we're in a bit of a downtrend. That's on the daily. Let me just go back. Weekly. I would say it's looking like this could be the turning point, starting to go into an uptrend, but we have clearly been in a downtrend. Look, high, lower high, lower high, lower high. But as you can see here, what I class as an uptrend or downtrend when I have three of these pivots. So as we can see, we got a low, we got a higher low, and this may be just here. This might be another higher low. So this could possibly be the start of the uptrend. Let's have a quick look on the daily. Again, clearly been in a downtrend, but then we got here a low, we got a higher low. So what I'm thinking is we could be a slight pullback, and then it will rip. Create a daily uptrend. I'm contradicting myself a little bit here, because the zones I actually have marked out would go below these pivots. Let me just close that. Right, let me see. These are the zones I have marked out, two of them. I would class these as, this is on the weekly, these are high quality zones. As we can see, we've got a leg in, two really indecisive candles, and then boom, explodes out. Same thing here, nice candle in, two indecisive candles, explodes out. So yeah, I mean, these are the levels I'm looking at entering on. Like there's a few things I can do here. I could maybe combine these two levels together and look at getting involved at around the 49.50 level, or I can actually maybe split my trade size in two, get involved here around the $54 mark, just half of my trade size. If it fails, stops out, I use the other half here. So yeah, that's something I need to decide if the price does pull back to where I'm hoping it does. But yeah, that could be that's a decent looking trade with a bit of luck. Let's have a look at the COT data. So as you can see, up until the 27th of October, the commercials are buying like crazy. The commercial and the retailers are selling. So although we don't know the data up until like now, the beginning of December, first week of December, um, I'm gonna guess. I'm sort of guessing that this price would have sort of continued rising, and this would have continued lower. So yeah, I mean, this is looking really good. We've got COT data in our favour, seasonality, and if the price does pull back to around $54, I believe, the valuation will definitely pull back and to where we want it to be as well. So that's potentially a really good trade. Let's have a quick look at corn. Right, let me just clear something up with corn. The COT data for commercials and retailers just tends to, it's sort of the same. It's not like the opposite thing happening like on the metals like we just went over. That's because corn isn't traded quite as big, so you do have like big players in the game are only trading small contract sizes, so they'll just get lumped together with the commercial traders. So yeah, this is not something, corn isn't something I can say, well look, commercials are high as buying, retailers are selling, so let's buy. So you sort of have to just go with both. So when it comes to corn, I mean, when the prices are high, like when these numbers are high on the graph here, I'm looking to buy. Again, up until the 27th of October, yeah, that's generally, that's a, sort of a high zone. Let me just mark this out. So pretty high. So generally, and above here, I would deem as high. So yeah, COT data, we've cleaned that up. Let's look at the seasonality tool. Now, would you just have a nice steady climb from here on out up until what, first week of March? So yeah, not outrageous like this here. Look at this drop. But they're the best thing. These are the best things you want to be looking for when it comes to seasonality. Like, look how strong that drops. So this is just be slow and steady. Again, if price pulls back to the zone I'm going to show you now, these valuation tools will pull back, giving us another bomb, another confirmation. Right on the monthly chart, I've actually set out this zone. Great zone, leg in, indecisive, explodes out, lots of follow through. Let's go into the weekly. Again, we got two zones on top of each other. Oh my god, this is the crude oil. What am I doing? Oh, this is the, right, my god. Let's go to corn quickly. Well, sorry about that, guys. Luckily that was corn with the COT data. Let me just have a quick look here. Right, I've got marked this sort of beginning of the zone on the monthly. Weekly, we've got quite a few zones going on here. Yeah, so we're expecting an uptrend. Let's go in the weekly. Right, so we got this. This is the best of the bunch. Look at this one here. Look at that candle. But again, is price really going to pull back that low? I would say probably not. We've got a zone here. What's that, high low, and then a high low. Now, price does pull back to one of these zones. I'm hoping it to just, explode upwards. Now I'd need to decide whether to enter right in this first zone or in the second zone. I would probably, let's go into the daily. And what I'm thinking is we got like a pivot, pivot, pivot. So if the price does come lower and comes lower than this zone marked out, that quite possibly the end of the uptrend. So if my idea is correct, this trend's going to continue upwards. So what I would do is actually just go straight in for this zone. I would forget this one for now. Again, another option would be potentially splitting my trade size in half here. If that fails, maybe it's a fake break of the trend. It comes here and comes off. I could do half here also. So yeah, this is the zone I've got my eye on. I would probably look to enter that at around $426. Yeah, so that's corn. And quickly, let's move on to stocks. Now when it comes to stocks and indices, these two here, the COT data is redundant. It doesn't, it's just not applicable. So forget them just here. Right, Netflix is the best of the stocks. Really like the look of that. Right, seasonality, the sideways. So yeah, not something I'm going to pay too much attention to. Now I've changed the valuation tool slightly. Now I've switched this to what's this? Oh, made a mistake, sorry. With the blue line before here, that's the US dollar. Sorry, that's the US dollar, so let me just switch them back. See, so the yellow line's gold and the blue line is the US dollar. So sorry. And now the white line here, that's the US treasuries. So this works well, this indicator with stocks, indices. So with Netflix, right, we're undervalued pretty much. This chart looks great. Right, so on the monthly, I have the zones be covered by the monthly here. I'm covered by the weekly. I've got quality zone. Got the zone marked out, explodes out. Explosive candle, lots of follow through. Yeah, so the only thing I need to work out now would be my entry point. Let's go into the daily. And this is a bit tricky. Let me explain why. Now we got gaps here, like I said before. These can act as magnets for price action. So what I'm thinking is, yeah, the green line here is the current price. It's already filled some of this. It's going to continue down, fill the rest of that. Hopefully fill the rest of this price. And then I will probably be looking to enter, well, maybe the $91 mark. Yeah, I feel really good about that trade. Hopefully the price comes back. I'm able to get an order in. The next one is AT&T. Again, look, we've got a nice zone here on the monthly. We got the explosive candle outwards. Let's have a quick look on the weekly. Look on the weekly, we've got a gap. I'm thinking the price is gonna come back, fill them orders, and then this is where I'm looking at getting involved. So roughly, the $22.3 mark. I would long that. Let's have a look at the valuation tool. seasonality, I would just ignore that for now. Not much going on sideways action. Valuation is above the mean, but if the price does pull back to that zone, it will for sure pull right back down here. So that will be good to go. And then the last one is Ferrari. Again, if the price pulls back, we'll be undervalued, which will be good. Seasonality, I'm not going to pay no attention to that. There we go. On the monthly, we've got a zone here covered by the monthly. Again, we got a gap in the price on the weekly. Hopefully cover that. Nice zone, explodes outwards. That's a follow through. Let's go on the daily. Oh no, wrong one again. Let's go on to Ferrari. Whoops. Right, there's the monthly. That was the wrong one, sorry. Right, we got, look at this, we got a drop, base, explodes out. So we've even got a gap here on the monthly. I feel like that will get filled sooner rather than later. Now, I wouldn't plan no trades on the daily just because look at all these gaps. So yeah, I would plot my trade on the daily, weekly, sorry. So yeah, look, we got a zone here, and then explodes out. That's high quality. It's in original zone 2. It's original. So yeah, it's just all about working out what my entry point would be. I would probably be looking at going in around the $350 mark. Yeah, so that's it. That's enough. That's what I'm thinking about next week. If anyone does like to watch the video, I hope you liked it. See you later. Bye.